You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
It's Tuesday, May 19. I'd like to share some thoughts about early career. Imagine just waking up and finding that the unwritten rules of your job have totally changed, like how your bonus is calculated, the software you're required to use, or even if your next warehouse audit is going to involve a literal humanoid robot.
Yeah, it's a lot to process all at once.
Right. So we're taking a deep dive into 4 massive structural shifts happening right now at Korean companies. And let's start with your paycheck. The Samsung Electronics Union is threatening a strike. They're demanding 15% of operating profit to be paid out as bonuses. I mean, is demanding a fixed slice of the profit pie even mathematically sustainable for a tech giant that needs massive R&D cash?
Honestly, mathematically, it's a huge stretch.
Yeah.
Especially when you factor in capital expenditures and, just weathering bad years. But to really understand the demand, you have to look at the traditional Kaibol structure.
Right, the family-controlled conglomerate.
Exactly. They've long relied on Hobong-jae, which is basically a rigid, seniority-based pay ladder.
So your base salary is locked to your age and tenure.
Yeah, pretty much. So bonuses became like the only flexible lever management actually had to reward performance or cut costs.
Wait, so the union is essentially trying to rip that lever out of management's hands and lock it in as a guaranteed dividend.
That's the idea. They want predictability.
Mm.
The Central Labor Relations Commission, or the CLRC, is mediating right now, and the government is sort of hinting at an emergency cooling-off period.
Oh, wow.
Because if Samsung caves, it sets a precedent that shatters the traditional Korean compensation model entirely. We're already seeing similar demands ripple out to Hyundai, LG, and Kakao.
Okay, so if the compensation model is getting a total rewrite, the technical skills you need to earn that pay are narrowing just as fast. Like, Anthropic and OpenAI are now capturing 89% of the paid AI app market.
That's a staggering number.
It really is. That's an $80 billion market, roughly 120 trillion won. If those two own almost 90%, I mean, should junior developers and creatives even bother learning anything else?
Well, you definitely cannot ignore the duopoly. Mastering Claude and ChatGPT is just the baseline now, because the era of free experimental AI is kind of over.
Right. Companies actually expect measurable productivity returns on those subscriptions now.
Exactly. But you also can't ignore the specialized layer built on top. Like, look at Cursor, which is valued at $2.7 billion.
Oh, the coding tool.
Yeah. It doesn't just write code. It predicts a developer's next edit across multiple files simultaneously, which fundamentally changes the mechanics of coding. Or take 11 Labs, a $500 million company that clones vocal cadences for media production.
So OpenAI is the engine, but those niche tools are the steering wheels for specific careers.
Precisely.
Got it. So AI handles the digital heavy lifting, but the physical and administrative heavy lifting is being handed off too, and fast. LG C&S is testing humanoid robots in Kurly logistics centers. And Kurly built its empire on dawn delivery, right? Getting fresh groceries to your door overnight.
Right.
I always assumed human speed was their essential edge there.
Well, human speed is the edge, but it's also the biggest bottleneck. Dawn delivery requires massive overnight labor forces, and that just destroys profit margins with shift premiums.
So they're pushing to automate.
Very fast. LG C&S isn't running some 10-year research project here. They're looking at a hard 18 to 24-month timeline to replace human warehouse labor entirely.
Wait, really? Just 18 to 24 months?
Yeah, they have to rescue that return on investment.
That is moving so fast.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just the warehouse floor getting automated out, it's the back office too. Mastercard and the Fintech startup GoWid are basically killing the old receipt and reimburse model.
Oh, thankfully.
Right. So instead of paying out of pocket and begging accounting for your money back, employees just get single-use virtual corporate cards.
Which is brilliant because the limits are hard-coded into the virtual card. Say, a 1 million won, or roughly $714 limit, approved only for specific vendors.
So no more hoarding crumpled receipts. The budget essentially polices itself.
Exactly. It shifts the entire finance workflow from these messy post-spending audits to pre-authorized control. I mean, you can't overspend if the card literally rejects the transaction.
Which sounds incredibly efficient, until you realize all this automation and outsourcing creates massive legal blind spots. Like, Korea's Fair Trade Commission just fined 5 major delivery giants 3.078 billion won, which is about $2.2 million. But How exactly were they breaking the rules?
But writing contracts that illegally pushed civil and criminal liability for worker safety onto their subcontractors and subfranchises.
Oh, wow. So just dodging accountability.
Right. If an accident happened at a terminal, the legal language essentially forced the smaller, underfunded subcontractor to take the fall. It shielded the giant parent company from the consequences of their own operational demands.
So if you're a junior legal or operations staffer at one of these firms, your day-to-day is about to become a massive audit of these contractor arrangements.
Oh, absolutely. Regulators are making it crystal clear that you can't just hide your liability behind a sub-franchise anymore.
It's a huge shift in how things operate.
It really is. And it forces a hard look at where your actual value lies. I mean, if humanoid robots handle the logistics and AI does the coding and software pre-audits the budgets and regulators crack down on the paperwork, what uniquely human judgment skills will you cultivate to stay indispensable in this new landscape?
That's today's AI PRISM Early Career. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a IFRO award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.